Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of I Still Love Her, the podcast hosted by me, Titi Torrez, and of course, Kendra G and our girl, Ivy.
Hey.
What's up,
How
guys?
y'all doing?
Hey, ladies.
First of all,
listen, Titi came ready.
Oh, I came ready because you guys are always prepared. First of all, I just want to say, Kendra, you posted a video to your Instagram, and I don't know what you are doing, but you are body goals in this quarantine.
No, listen,
I was just telling that to her. Go ahead.
So first of all, I was just telling Ivy, I can't talk too loud because I have an ear infection that's causing my voice a lot of drama. But for my birthday, I've been doing, now I'm doing a whole commercial. I've been doing the ISO tea. These are energy pills. And I take this Neutral Burst, and I've been working out, and I'm doing a juice fast this week. I'm determined to have a better body when Corona's over.
Oh, can I just get on your level? Because
you can do it, Titi. Okay, listen, you gotta get the tea. Listen, when we're done, you really gotta order this. Start off with this, and the resolution drops.
Okay.
I've been seeing that trending often. A lot of girls are like starting to take that and promote the NutriBurst thing.
It works.
You can either get thick or you could get slim. You choose your pill.
I need to get
Titi, when we hang out.
I believe it because I'm looking at Kendra's body. Damn.
I will say this. I am working out too, but I'm a gym person, and not being able to go to the gym right now is like terrible for me. So that's why I like the tea. I've always used teas to help assist with losing weight, but I used to use a thing called ballerina tea, and the ballerina tea, it works, but it's like, it will put you in cramps like you're in labor. What I like about the ISO tea, it doesn't hurt you. And I actually take a high dosage for it to work. So Titi, when we get off, I'm texting you the link for you to get it.
Okay. So let's kick off with the first story. I'm going to kick it to you, Kendra, because we have to talk about versus your boy Ludacris, who you happen to be really good friends with.
Yes.
He was battling Nelly.
Okay.
In the last episode of Versus, and I saw you inside the chat, and I know you was Team Ludacris all day.
Yes.
I want to get your thoughts on it.
So I'm happy you started off with a really good friend, because I might be biased. It might not be fair, because Ludacris is a person that I've known for 10 years and has literally done some great things for my career, as in introducing me to people and vouching for me. So no matter what, I was Team Ludacris, right? I do think he still won via songs, but I gotta say this, I enjoy Nelly, because Nelly was having so much fun, and it was more of a good party time than a battle. So I was definitely Team Luda, but I was like, Nelly made me smile.
Yeah. Do you think that people, and Ivy, I want to ask you this question. Do you think that people took it way too serious with that R. Kelly line? Because the headline after that was, R. Kelly, Ludacris referenced R. Kelly, and I think it took away from the magicalness that happened with the battle.
Yeah, I was saying that he approached this song with a very rip off the Band-Aid type of method. He wasn't saying things just about R. Kelly. He was saying things about, the people that make us uncomfortable, that we want to love, right? And one of them being R. Kelly. He didn't say anything bad to me. He did say a bold statement, but it's something that we all think. I like R. Kelly, but I don't trust him around my kids.
I mean, Kendra, did you see anything wrong in what he said?
So here's the deal. I live in Chicago, right? So what he said to me isn't a shocker, because I hear that all the time from Chicagoans. Like, when everything happened last year with the documentary, because the thing is, the documentary wasn't new information. It was just, the documentary was so powerful because you had all the women together and all the stories. A lot of the information, like for myself, I never watched the initial videotape of the girl until the documentary, right? And then that for me did it. So being in Chicago, I was very emotionally oh, he's a rap, he's done. Vocal on the radio. And when I tell you they try to get me fired, they protested, they were very upset with me. And I think because I work in Chicago, I wasn't born in Chicago, so it's a difference, right? So I had realized wow, I'm the most vocal personality in the city. And I think that was a difference. Chicagoans at this moment, not all, but some agree that the behavior isn't appropriate, but they still love his music. So what Ludacris said, living in Chicago, I hear that all the time.
I guess for people there, for some, it's just like, why mention him at all? Just leave his name completely out of it and act like he doesn't exist.
Yeah, but then that goes to freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? Like Ivy said, it's something that people say. Do I agree with it? I think people have I don't know if Ludacris ever worked with R. Kelly. There was a lot of conversation where they feel like some of the girls knew better or they could have left. So there's always that conversation of he didn't manipulate them. They were able to leave whenever they wanted to leave. People are really,
torn.
Yeah, they're torn. People are very torn. So, I mean, I feel like more men kind of feel like Ludacris than R. Kelly, because men have this. They feel like, I might have played her, but I didn't lock her up or I didn't make her do this, right? And women, we're more compassionate and more empathetic to the woman's story, right? So, I mean, yeah.
I think it's just all about how you perceive the story and what you are comfortable walking away with. At the end of the day, Ludacris is an artist, and artists they use their artistry to kind of push the envelope and talk about these things. That's why their voice is so important. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it was a bold move, but if he's ready to stand by it, then I'm here for it.
I just want to say that Ludacris and Nelly, sidebar, are aging very well, and I don't know what they've been doing to them to keep their skin and their bodies together, but damn, they are fine as hell.
Let me tell you something. Looking at them top from bottom, it was like a meme. It was like the man you need versus the man you want. I swear to God, I was like, damn. Luda's all sophisticated and trying to be grown and set an example, and Nelly's over here with the wife beater sweating, and I'm like, Jesus.
And then why did I never have a crush on Nelly? I never had a crush on Nelly, and I'm like, Nelly fine.
Yeah. I said that to myself too. I think it was for me, he wasn't New York enough for me.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was. He wasn't East Coast enough.
He was too stingy.
Yeah. So I want to kick this to you, Ivy. So Kehlani?
Yes. So she had an interview with the Breakfast Club, and they were talking about open relationships, and it just brought me to a whole thing. I kind of stopped listening to what she said, because she was like, it's about conversations about what you're comfortable with.
Wait a minute. So she admitted that her and YG had an open relationship?
We're in an open relationship. Oh. But the thing was that he kind of took it.
Hold on.
Yes.
So she was allowed to bring men into the relationship as well as women, or was it a one-sided open relationship?
I think it was
just
open,
women.
Open relationship.
But open means you can date other people, I thought. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean you're bringing somebody in.
As long as you communicate it.
That's a threesome, what you're saying. You're saying a threesome. Open means that I could date other people, you could date other people.
But we're exclusive.
That ain't, you're not exclusive.
I'm the main, I'm the one you come home to, but I could go and see Michael if I want to.
Also, a lot of people are in those relationships. They just don't know it.
I think that is just, that's a lot. It's a lot of complications behind that.
Kendra, you said that's just cool.
A lot of people. Everybody that's a situationship. That's really what it is.
Wait a minute. So I was thinking she meant a threesome, they were open.
They're swingers?
Yeah, they're swingers. I was thinking that she meant open relationship. Okay, tonight we feel like bringing, another girl into the bedroom, and he's cool with that. I'm cool with that. Because everybody knows Kehlani is, bisexual.
Bisexual.
Whatever she identifies herself with, everybody knows she likes those type of relationships. So I thought that's what she was referring to. I didn't realize that they were allowed to date other people outside of their core relationship. So
I wouldn't say I think dating is probably an extreme term. Maybe it's just having sex with other people. I'm not sure of the code that they set and the boundaries that they set. Okay, but YG was just pushing the limit.
But
And he
why
was
be
just
in
like,
a relationship? But why would you fault YG if you're okay with this? I don't understand this. I mean, Kendra, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, how is there a thing as pushing a relationship when you're okay with this? Like, there is no such thing.
I remember the whole thing many years ago when Basketball Wives happened and they had the scene with Evelyn telling Chad, if you're going to cheat, just let me know.
Yeah.
And it was like all this conversation. I think the reality is when women date these men, they know that they're, to be blunt, having sex with other women, right? So I think initially they try to have this, I could deal with it. It's okay. I know I'm the girlfriend. He's with me. If anything, it's something he's doing late night. I'm on the road. But personally, and I mean for each their own, I can never do that. I can't be with the guy knowingly he's sleeping with other women without going crazy. Like I've been in that situation of not dating, but not in a relationship, right? So when you're dating and you're not exclusive, technically the guy can be with other people. And I learned that, I got feelings. I can't do this shit.
I'm too jealous.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I mean, for me, I'm too jealous. Point blank, period. That's why I could never really take someone serious in a relationship that wants a threesome. Because I know me, I'm too jealous. Like, I'm not, like, if I ever did a threesome with someone, I'm not going to respect you after that. Like, I'm not going to want to be with you. I'm not going to want to have a long-term relationship with you. I'm not going to marry you. I'm not going to be the one, because I know me. I mean, how about you, Ivy? Could you do it? Could you stay in an open relationship or have a threesome or be with someone for a long term that you had a threesome with?
I don't know if I could be in an open relationship, although piggybacking off what Kendra said, it does make a great point. Like, she knows that she's dating an artist, a rapper that is around women all the time. So she's probably okay with the idea, like, he's going to do it anyway. So I just want to set that type of comfort in my relationship with him, which is cool, but it's not the folk that I want to stroke.
So what is she mad about though? Like, so then why are you mad? Because he didn't tell you about this incident about a girl?
Because the communication died and it became like a disrespectful thing.
So I'm just not telling you about Shorty?
Like, she gave him enough rope to hang himself. So he just started doing his own thing and kind of disrespecting the relationship, where at one point, their communication was fine. And he's like, this is a little thing I'm probably going to take down, but, I'll call you later. And it just went to him just doing his thing and not caring to, like, check in. I could assume, but it was a mess waiting to, blow up.
Because is there rules on it, Kendra? So, like, you can't take her shopping, you can't buy her gifts for Christmas. Like, is there rules and boundaries to it?
Well, I mean, I don't know, because it's their relationship, but I think really what you're trying to get at, TT, is the fact that women might say they're okay with it, but they're just really not okay with it. And then you catch feelings, and like you're saying, according to, and I've been in this situation before. Like I said, I dated a person, we wasn't in a relationship. And that's why I said, if I'm dating, we got to be in a relationship, because I hate that, well, you wasn't my girlfriend. And it's like, technically, you're right. I wasn't your girlfriend, but I was doing girlfriend shit. So I got girlfriend feelings. And I think a lot of times people like Kalani or just whomever think they could do it, and then they realize they really can't.
Yeah.
I think it really boils down to, like, communication, because, like, even in your case, Kendra, like, when you're like, we weren't together, but I was doing girlfriend shit, that was a boundary that was already broken, because you started doing the cuffing shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we just fucking, I'm not going to be spoiling you and giving you all my time. That's girlfriend shit. So what are we really doing? Are you going to take me serious? Do you want to talk to me all the time? Do you want to get spoiled? Do you want to level up with the queen? Let me know. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I think those are conversations that people are really afraid to bring up, because they just want to be around people, and they, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
That they want that they want to have that how do you say it? They want that feeling of a relationship. They want that that just,
they're open to compromise what they want just to have like that
intimacy, that feeling, that the idea of what a relationship could be.
Yes, now that's true, the idea. And then sometimes too, what happens is the guy might be doing stuff for you, really. You know what I'm saying? Because we did see YG and her coupled up, and they were out together publicly. So it seemed like they really were in a relationship, right? So sometimes when you're in that situation, you're trying to figure out, okay, is there more good? Is there more bad? You know, yeah, he did this, but he showed up when I was sick, or he was there for me. So it gets complicated, but that's why you got to decide. And again, Kalani is what, 25?
She's young.
Yeah, bitch, I just got this lesson 2 years ago. So I can't even fault her too hard, because it took me until I got 40 to learn the fucking lesson.
So I want to talk about this story, guys. This was posted a few weeks ago on the Neighborhood Talk. They posted a video of a woman and a child, and it could be a mother and a daughter. I couldn't see if the child was a daughter or not in the video, but the child was on a pole. It was a toddler and the mother, and she was teaching the baby how to get up and down on a stripper pole. Have you guys seen this video?
Yeah, I saw it.
It made me very uncomfortable. I didn't know. This is new.
But listen, and I'm not, listen though. Okay, so technically, okay. So technically, you know, pole exercising is a thing, right? The baby isn't twerking or doing anything sexual. So is the mother wrong?
You know, okay, because let me say this. I don't have kids, so I don't know if I don't not have the kid blanket. But, you know, as a person that works out, I'm always amazed by people on poles, because that shit is hard. So I'm like, this woman is in shape. I would like to know more information. Is she a stripper? Is it an exercise device? But overall, we equate poles with strippers, right? So because of that, I understand the outrage that people have, because it's like the perception is you're teaching your toddler to be a stripper.
Ivy.
See, I had to go back and look at the video, because I'm like, what does she have on? Right? And I look at,
what was it?
Her whole booty out. She had a whole thong.
So you know Ivy, so describe to people what she had on and what she was saying in the video for those who didn't see the video.
Okay, let me see if I could play the audio. So this is the music
playing. In the song that was playing.
Yes. So this is Back That Ass Up music, right? So now she's on the pole and she's upside down, and the baby's already on top, and she's sitting on the mother, and she's just like, she's doing her thing. So for me, I'm just trying to figure out if she is a pole dancer, because that is a respected, you know, occupation, but I don't know what she does. She's giving me big dancer vibes.
But wait, real quick,
what I'm saying?
A pole dancer isn't a stripper?
No, there's two. I think that there's just like go-go dancing. It's not stripping.
So
it's like a form.
It's like there are people that do it for
like burlesque.
Yeah, or burlesque. There's people that do it. It's different forms of pole dancing. Not all pole dancing revolves around getting money and people putting dollar bills on you. But what struck me about this video the most is definitely what the mother had on. The music that was playing in the background was definitely inappropriate. And as a mother myself, you know, I don't play dirty music around my son. And I don't even allow my son to hear dirty music. And, you know, me and his father is in the music business. And I just think there's limitations to what you put into your child's mind. You know what I mean? I'd rather teach my child how to code. I'd rather teach my child how to invest in, you know, at that age, I'd rather teach my child something more significant than going up and down on a pole. That's just me as a mother, something that I'd rather instill in him than having my child go up and down on a pole to dirty music. What does that do? How does your child benefit from that?
No, that's a good point, TT. That's a good point, especially when you break it down with all those layers, with the music in the background and all of that and what they were wearing. I totally could see that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's also, she probably thought that it was like her and her daughter having fun. You know, she probably does it just to play around and make her laugh and do something different. But to expose it on social media, you're looking for something. I don't think you're just sharing it to share, like, oh, look how much fun my baby is having. No, you're doing it for attention. So there's other, intentions behind what you're doing, so that's causing me to look at this with like a side eye, like, what is the goal here?
Or what type of attention did you want to attract showing the thong and your booty and your boobs? And, because it's going to be overly sexualized by men. And we do have a problem on the internet where men prey on little children. Like, that is a thing. And there's a thing where, little children get kidnapped and sold into sex trafficking. And like, there's so many layers to this that, she probably didn't think deep enough into.
Yeah, I think she thought that deep.
She didn't think that deep. But as a mother, those are things that I'm thinking about. Like, I'm afraid to barely show my son's face because of the world is so evil. You know what I mean? And there's so many layers and there's so many different people behind a keyboard that prey on opportunities like this and prey on little kids like this. And you just have to be careful in what type of environment you choose to put your kids in.
That's the bottom line.
Kendra, speaking of parenting, we have to talk about the Boosie story. We don't know when the video was aired, but we do know that the video made headlines this past week in regards to Boosie and his nephews and all of that.
Well, basically, he was on his live and he was talking about he wanted to make sure that his nephew, and I think his son too, would have proper fellatio. I'm going to use the word for it, fellatio. So we got an older woman to give them fellatio so they can know how it's done right. And then he said their age was like 12, 13. So what's mind-boggling to me is, like, why was he not arrested after the video went out? Because to me, that's child molestation. Like, you're admitting to getting an older, and he said that the same woman also gave it to him. So he knows that she knows what she's doing because he's going to make sure his nephew, his boys are out in this world right. And it just got to the point where it's just like, this is ridiculous. Like, there's no way to defend this at all. And then the conversation started with other guys saying, well, I remember, they agreed that 12, 13 was too young. But it's like, when I was 15, my uncle was like, oh, you want this girl? Or, oh, you want that girl? Stop making these boys grow up so fast sexually. Let them have their first sexual experience when they're ready to.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that, Kendra. I am so glad you said that, because I remember there was a time when my nephew was 12 years old and a 16-year-old girl gave him her telephone number, and she was his camp counselor. And he got in the car and he was so hyped because he was 16 years old and his camp counselor gave him the number and he just thought he was the man. And I took that number and I got out the car and I went into the camp and I said, don't you ever in your life give this 12-year-old boy your telephone number. What in the world would make you think that was okay? And I had a conversation with my nephew at the time. I said, take your time. Do not rush to be an adult. You have more adult years than you do childhood years. And I think it's a double standard. We want to applaud our men. Oh yeah, go out there, have sex, be with multiple women. And we think that's okay, but it's not. It's molestation. It's women taking advantage of these young boys. And if the shoes were, if it was reversed and these were young girls, people would be outraged. People would be calling for Boosie to be arrested.
Right. Right.
I agree 1,000%. We heard so many stories, especially like I remember hearing the story of Chris Brown losing his virginity in the single digits, like 8 years old or something, by a girl who's like 15 or some shit like that. Like, crazy shit. And just hearing the story about Boosie's nephews, I mean, first of all, you can't trust somebody who scrambles their eggs with a knife. I don't know if y'all seen that. But Boosie was definitely cooking eggs with a knife, and that was just like the most frightening thing I've seen. But I agree with you guys. Like, that is just insane. And we do need to allow, you know, these boys to take their time and do it and not pressure them like this is like how you become a man. You know, I think that's the mindset. This is how you become the man. There's a lot. I used to work with kids. I was a dance teacher, and there was so many grown ass little kids talking about like 12 years old talking about getting head, and I'm like, bro,
I already think because I already think that they're exposed to so much, because look how much they're exposed to now. I mean, we were exposed. We had the internet. But we weren't as exposed as these kids are now. They have so much access, right? With everything at the palm of their hands, they have so much access. So if you can shelter them away from if you could just parent them and just say, hey, take your time. You don't have to have sex at 12 years old. You don't even know who you are at 12 years old. Wait, what's the pressure? Or maybe it's this misconception, if they don't be with girls soon, then they will be with guys. Because I think he said something to the effect, or it's better them being with girls than with guys. Just because a boy doesn't have sex by a certain age does not mean that they're going to turn out to be with guys. You know what I mean? Like, it just means that let them take their time. They're not ready yet.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, these are the moments that really disappoints me when it comes to hip hop. I mean, because I don't really know about other genre of music. We live in the hip hop world. This is the world that I know of. But I feel like we be having a lot of buffoonery happening within our community, and we don't call it out as such. Like, you know, I don't like Future. And it's not because of his music. It's because of the person. Like 7 baby mamas and a possible, if there's still another woman that has to get a test. Like, that's buffoonery. And I just hope that hip hop needs to start calling this shit out. Like, yo, we don't rock with that. That's not what we put out as an image.
That shit is corny. Yeah. But we don't do that though. Like, we don't call artists out for that shit. Like, that shit is corny. That shit is corny what he says. And I think more artists have to start calling that shit out. That's a bad representation of hip hop. To go on your live and say, even if you did that, why the fuck would you say that on your live? Why would you think that it was okay to tell the world you did that?
Because a lot of people, they go on Instagram and they don't think about what they're gonna say or what they're gonna do. They just be there because they have nothing else to do.
Look at Kendra's face. She's like
because no, that's something that's just happening overall right now, with a lot of people just posting up, being on live pictures, and we just got into this moment in life where we have to like document everything and shit. I'm a product of that at times too, because I'd be like, oh, I didn't post, I didn't this, and I'm like, you know, you can go to a whole city and you don't gotta post shit. You could just be there, hook up with your friends, or do whatever, and never do an IG story about it. But we're so conditioned. You know, conditioned. Everything we do, there's like, it's a track record. You know, and it's bad though, because things like Boosie happen.
Yeah, it's bad because there's no filter, there's no stop button,
right?
There's no chill button. You know what I mean? So you have to learn.
I think we have to provide a balance. It's a responsibility for us to kind of just be like, look, this exists, but this ain't for you right now.
Yeah.
That's the example that he should be leading. Like, yo, you could live like me one day, not today. You know what I'm saying? Like, Boosie is not the greatest example to tell, you know, his nephews and nieces, like, yo, chill. He's probably going to be that uncle that be like, yo, you want to, you know, take a toke of weed on the low? I won't tell your mama. Like, I could totally see him doing that.
But I would say this, like, you know, see, he is like the poster model, but don't get it twisted. There's other men in the hood or whatever that feel that way. Because when we had this topic on the radio, guys were calling up and saying, well, that's the way it was. Like, at 12-year-old, my uncle hooked me up. And it's just this stigma that in order for you to become a man, you have to be with a woman.
Yeah.
And that's wrong, because these boys are being taught at that age. That's why they grow up and they don't want to be with one woman.
And they abuse women, and it causes so much more psychological damage. That goes back to what I was saying earlier. They feel like they have to raise them that way out of the fear of them going the opposite way. I have a son, so I understand that psychological thing that happens. You know what I'm saying? But that's why more mothers got to step in and be like, no, not with my son. You're not doing that with my son. ladies, I know we gotta go, but before we go, we definitely gotta pay homage and love and respect to Andre Harrell. We lost him. It's such a sad time, that we are in right now, especially hearing that he lost. Such a good person. Shout out to my lawyer, Wendy Cradle. That's her ex-husband, her best friend, the father of her child. And Wendy's been my lawyer for, I want to say almost 20 years now. And, I send my prayers out to her and her whole entire family and their son, Gianna. And I know, Ivy, you knew him very well as well.
Yeah, absolutely. My heart really goes out to Puff, man. He has experienced some real tough losses. And we're just in a space where it's like we can't even escape to take our mind off these things, So we're really locked in. But, I was reading the post that Gianni had posted up of Andre, and it was just like so beautiful to see that, the message that he left is to leave the world better than how you found it. And he definitely did that, So, my prayers are definitely with the friends and family of Andre. And we just got to continue to carry that aura that he had, because it was definitely one of one.
Yeah.
You mentioned Diddy, and that's who I thought of too. Obviously, Diddy is the public person, right? So hearts definitely go out to his son and everyone, the family that was his, obviously his family. But when you think about Diddy, and you mentioned it, Ivy, Andre Harrell, Kim Porter, Biggie, Heavy D, it's almost like all the people that he came up with. Literally, like Heavy D, he used to always say was the first person he was doing parties with that got him into it. Obviously, we know the Biggie, his first major artist. Then obviously Kim Porter, the mother of his children, and now Andre Harrell, the person that gave him a shot in the music industry. Every significant person to his music career has passed away at a young age. Not like, we all know we're going to die, right? So that's not no secret. But we all pray that we die as old age or older parts of our lives, right? But to imagine having every single person that was important to the career you created and the man that you are pass on, like, I don't know how to explain that. Like, it reminds me not to make it biblical. And again, because obviously Andre Harrell has a son, a real, biological son, an ex-wife. But there's a Bible verse, and I think it's the story about Job. And basically all his children were murdered. He lost his wife. And then like the devil just kept giving him so much more, like stripping everything from him. And God was like, no matter what, he's not going to curse me. He's always still going to believe in me, right? And I just feel like Diddy is being tested in that way. Like everything, like career-wise, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. That's hard. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I love the fact that you brought that that Job scripture up, because it is so significant. And if people get a chance to go back and read that scripture, because that is an amazing scripture to read. And we're gonna leave on that note, Kendra, on that positive note.
Well, you still gotta go to church on Sunday. Bring y'all back to the heathens.
Hello.
Ladies, thanks for another amazing night, guys. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, and of course follow us on Instagram. I Still Love Her, okay? The podcast, the Instagram, the IG. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Love you, ladies.
I love
See you next time.
Bye.